Good morning. It is early here in Hawaii. Most of you are going to kill me when I tell you that early for me is 9 o'clock. For the past few years, I have been creating my own author planner. It's very hodgepodge. I created a template on my computer, and oh, hello to my kitten. Hi, kitten. Hi, baby. I created a template that I use, and I've been using for the past couple of years. I make little adjustments to it here and there, but it just doesn't feel like it really suits my needs. And I've realized that over the past 2 quarters, I've mostly been creating it and then only using it for like a couple weeks. And I really want to create and utilize something that is more effective and really helps me stay on top of the things that I want to accomplish. So today is going to be a mixture of working on that planner and researching other planners and figuring out what elements I want to incorporate into it so that I can make something that's more effective. We'll see how that goes. I am here at Target. My plan is to look through some planners. I overhauled my planner this morning and made some major changes to my word tracker and to my monthly spread and my weekly spread, but I feel like something's missing. So I'm gonna snoop through the planners at Target just to see if there's maybe some sort of like goal setting element, or I have no idea what I could be missing, but something feels like it's like there's a meat part of my planner that's not there. So I'm going to spend a little time here at Target exploring everything to see if I can figure out what it is. So let's go have some fun. Target's my favorite. Bought a new planner. They had one that was so close to perfect. It was the right size. It had the right type of cover. It felt so nice in my hands. It was coil bound, but not coil bound. It's those like gold and silver rings. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the type of binding I love. And it was like just this close to being perfect. But I'm at a place where I feel like I want to create my own planner. I want to, one, I really like the creative aspect of it. And two, I have things that I will want to include that just no planners will have. Things like word trackers and a publishing plan. You know, those are things that just a planner isn't going to have. And so I have to decide, would I rather take a beautiful planner and jerry rig it to be what I want, or keep adjusting the template of what it is that I'm making until it fits me right, and then maybe just have that professionally printed someday. Maybe that's a thing I'll do. I was talking with my husband the other night about my like epic search for the right planner and trying to adjust things. And he was like, what if you created a website that allowed people to really create their own planners? And I was like, stuff like that already exists. And his response was, yeah, but not the way that you would do it, and not with the type of quality that you really, really want. Which is true, because there are places out there that allow you to kind of pseudo design the interior of your planner and personalize it a little bit. But I've always found the quality of those planners to be a little bit low, because whenever you do print on demand, you really have to spend a lot in order for it to be high quality. So who knows? Maybe that's a pipe dream for down the road. Jillian Liota making her own planner company or something. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, I got a few ideas from Target, and I'm just gonna have to take that as a win. Time to head home and finally put this baby together, because it's basically like a 3-step process. I have to create my planner. I have to make sure all my goals are set up. Then I set up my Kanban board. And then I'll be able to finally do a video about what all my goals are for 2022. Goodness, this year is not starting out, well, I don't want to be that cruel to myself. It's not starting out super on top of it, but I mean, if I compare it to last year or 2020, I'm way more on top of it right now than I was back then. So, we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. So, I've updated all of the content for my planner. I have printed everything out, and I have cut it all out. Like, I've sliced it with my little handy dandy thing. I bought this when I was living in New Zealand for like $2, and all the ones I've seen in the US are like at least $15. So I consider it a major win. So now the only thing that's left is really to put everything together. So, fair warning, it's a little arts and crafts. I originally, when I first started making my planners back in 2018, I was seriously imitating Sarah Cannon and Heart Breathings. But at the time, I didn't have any way to hole punch things and make them into the size that I wanted. So I went to Ross and I bought a $3 sketchbook that was the right size. And then I printed everything out and figured I would just washi tape it in. And I've really gotten used to it, and I feel like it's a chance for me to use my washi tape. Since then, my planner has completely changed. The inside of it, all of the content, the way I organize myself, it's all very different. It's very much inspired by Sarah Cannon and Heart Breathings, but there shouldn't be anything in here that's like identical. But I'm still navigating the how do I transition this planner that I've made that I cut out into a very specific size. How do I make this into something that's tangible for me to use? Ultimately, it would be wonderful if at some point I could actually have this printed and bound exactly the size that I wanted. For now, that's not financially a realistic option. So I'm going to continue my trend of washi taping it into my sketchbook, and we'll see how it goes. Again, it's a little arts and crafts, but it's just been such a routine for me, and it's actually a very like calming process. There's something about at the start of every quarter sitting down and taking the time to literally put it all together that I really enjoy. So let's get started on that. So like I said earlier, I purchased a sketchbook from Ross. It was the right size, and I think that was really important to me. And then I go in and I washi tape these pages into it, and it ends up kind of fitting exactly how I want it to. This first page is just a cover. I updated it this year. It used to be a little bit more bare, but I wanted to create a little bit more fun look. And I used my very favorite washi tape, which has typewriters on it. I have used that on the front page of every single planner that I have done. Then the next page is a quarterly overview. This is also a new spread where I'm looking at what are my primary goals and the individual tasks that I want to accomplish for each of those goals. My 90-day plan page, it looks super blank, but it's an inspiration from Sarah Cannon, and I'll make sure to talk that through a little bit more later on. Then we move to the publishing plan overview, and I have space for both this year and next year and each month and what it is I hope to accomplish. It also allows me to visualize the year in a very different way and really think through how much I want to accomplish, so that I can be a lot more realistic about it. My monthly spread for this planner hasn't changed much. I basically just added the ability to do priorities in the corner. And that's a big change, I think, throughout most of this planner, is that I used to just kind of focused entirely on my 90-day plan and not actually narrow things down in smaller chunks. And I think it's going to be really helpful. The next spread is my engagement and posting spread. And, this is just a little washi tape holder that I got from the Erin Condren seasonal surprise box. But the engagement and posting spread is all about tracking social media and making sure that I am being consistent and putting things out there regularly and not allowing certain platforms to go stagnant. I would say the largest change in my planner is the weekly spread. And that's because it used to be just boxes. Like, it was literally just every single page was filled with boxes, and I would date them. But now I've decided to go a week at a time and put these smaller boxes, because I don't normally have a lot to write in on each day, but having, again, that priority thing in the corner allows me to be a little bit more focused and intentional. And then, of course, I have a little space to put a quote or whatever my motivation is for that week. And then it transitions into my next, it essentially repeats itself. So then I've got my February monthly overview, and it'll then go into my engagement and posting. I really like the subtle changes that I've made on the engagement and posting spread. On the left, it's about my Instagram, my reader group, my Facebook. But on the right, I used to have Goodreads and Twitter and tried to keep track of the things that I would do in that space. But realistically, I don't really do a lot over there. And so I've decided instead to focus on
YouTube and Patreon. And then of course there is the segment for newsletters, which I decided to increase the number of lines for it because I'm hoping to move to a weekly newsletter instead of monthly, which I know is going to be a really big change, but something that I hope allows my newsletters to be quick little bites rather than these really long meals. I think ultimately one of the things that's consistent across the board for not only my planner, but other things I'm working on is I'm trying to break things down into smaller chunks so they're more realistic. Moving on to the next month's spread. This is March, and then we'll go into the engagement and posting again. The one thing that's going to look different in this video, and something that I caught and did some editing on, is that I forgot to include my word tracker, which is something that I put in each month. I used to do a spread similar to this engagement page, which it basically would say, January, February, March, and then I would track my words for each day. But I have never found that to be particularly sustainable. I normally do maybe half of a month, and then the rest of the quarter, I don't even track it in my planner. And instead, I've created this other word tracker that is more reflective of how I manage my word tracking outside of my planner. And that's these little square boxes where I do 500 words at a time. And I used to post it on Instagram constantly. And I would get a lot of people asking me, where did you create that? Like where did you come up with this idea? And it's really, I have no idea where I came up with it. I think I saw someone else do a chapter at a time, and it was just little square boxes on a page. And I kind of took that and translated it into the idea of doing a word maze. And so that's kind of how I have my word tracker set up. As we wrap up, you'll see that occasionally there are these blank pages that I've left, and those are intentionally left in order to go back in and put inspirational quotes. I think that's one of the things that I love so much about planners when I go and buy one from the store, is that there are always these really inspirational quotes, and so I create my own. But on the left there is the stuff list, which is a joke between me and my husband, because everyone has a stuff drawer, I'm sure, in their kitchen. It's just where kind of everything goes from the counter, pens, scissors, tape, lighters, matches. So it's a kind of a place for me to dump my mind and leave everything behind. And then there is a word tracker on the right again. So I'm going to do a pretty quick flip through. Feel free to pause on any page that you feel is important or you'd like to zoom in on. On the left there is an example of the quotes that I put in here, things that just kind of help me stay motivated and moving forward. It's just a fun little thing to add in. One of the things I said earlier that I was going to spend a little bit of extra time on was talking about the 90-day plan spread, which was just flipped past a few seconds ago. And that is something that I have significantly adopted from Sarah Cannon. She, in 2018, started Heart Breathings, and I'm pretty sure I found her very, very quickly. I was within her first few thousand subscribers. And I really loved the way that she organized her 90-day plans, not only in how everything was broken down into tiny chunks, which I know makes it more realistic, but also the kind of visual of it. So that is the single page, I would say, in my planner that is still very much directly from Sarah Cannon and Heart Breathings. And I highly recommend checking out her channel if you are an author or a small business person trying to plan out your business and move yourself forward. And that's pretty much it. It's not anything super crazy, but it is definitely something that I have worked really hard on. And I've made some significant adjustments to it to make it something that I would use on a regular basis. And I think that's one of the best things about planners. The things that you want in a planner are going to look very different from what someone else might want. And I love that creating these for myself has helped kind of burgeon that creativity in me, so that I can have the things I want, exactly how I want them.
All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed being a part of my planner creation this time around. I'm sure it was a unique watch for many of you, and please let me know if you learned anything or were inspired by anything in the comments below. If you thought this was a fun video and would like to see more content from me, I'm going to be posting a lot of things coming up in the future, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell because that will notify you every time a video goes live. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye. No. Yeah. She's 18 years old. Such a precious. Hi, baby. Sounds jealous.